I frantically chugged down 3 liters of water, just to fill every last inch of space left in my stomach. It's all because in my past life, that little brother of mine, he had the twisted power to transfer every single calorie he consumed straight into my body. He would grin from ear to ear, stuffing his face in front of the camera, and became a massive mukbang streamer with a bottomless appetite, while I blew up to a massive 150 kilos. To the point where just taking a walk left me gasping for air. I cried and begged my fiancée to believe me, but she just looked at me with pure disgust and slapped my hand away. You're just jealous because your brother is naturally gifted and never gains weight. Stop using that pathetic excuse to cover up your own laziness. Right after that, my brother went live, taking on a challenge to devour 100 giant burgers in one sitting. He racked up millions of views, while I suffered a massive heart attack and died a pathetic death in the back of a speeding ambulance. But when I opened my eyes again, I had traveled back to the exact day that Bastard signed his contract, officially launching his career as a food streamer. Right now in the living room, KY Ba Dad was clutching that contract like his life depended on it, grinning from ear to ear. Mom, Dad, I made it. Penguin Media actually saw my potential. They want to make me the top star of the food streaming world. Hearing this, my parents beamed with pride. That's my good boy, you've always had such a hearty appetite ever since you were little. And yet you've never gained a single pound. A gift like this, the whole country deserves to see it. Don't you worry, Ba Dad, this family will back you up all the way. My fiancée, Lu Nhu Yen, was standing right there beside him. And in her eyes was a sickening amount of admiration and affection for KY Ba Dad that she didn't even bother to hide. She stepped forward and affectionately rubbed my brother's head. Ba Dad, I just knew you were going to make it big. It's all thanks to my big brother. If it wasn't for him eating so much junk with me since we were kids, I never would have trained my stomach to be this incredible. In that moment, all eyes suddenly shifted right to me. The pride on my dad's face instantly morphed into a glare of utter disappointment. Atan, you really need to learn a thing or two from your brother. Just look at how ridiculously fat you've gotten. You two are blood brothers, cut from the exact same cloth. So why are your bodies completely worlds apart? If you just had an ounce of willpower, you wouldn't be such an embarrassing eyesore for Nhu Yen to be seen with. Lu Nhu Yen glared at me, her eyes practically dripping with disgust. I just lowered my gaze, clenching my hands so tight my knuckles turned white. A bloated body weighing 150 kilos. That suffocating, crushing pain of a heart attack. Along with the deafening wail of the ambulance siren, those agonizing memories were scorched deep into my very soul. In my past life, at this exact moment, I desperately tried to explain that twisted truth to them. I told them that every single bite of greasy junk food KY Ba Dad shoved down his throat ultimately turned into layers of blubber slapped right onto my body. But nobody believed me. They just thought I had completely lost my mind, driven insane by my own petty jealousy. But this time around, I wasn't going to make that same stupid mistake. I slowly raised my head. Congratulations, little brother. The smug grin on KY Ba Dad's face instantly froze. He completely didn't expect my reaction. This wasn't how I usually acted. I wasn't throwing a pathetic tantrum over our parents' scolding. Lu Nhu Yen looked a bit caught off guard, too. But she quickly brushed it off, probably assuming I had just finally learned my place. She walked up to me, looking down her nose at me with a sickeningly arrogant tone. Atan, I'm glad you've finally come to your senses. Ba Dad's career is just taking off. As his older brother, you should be supporting him with everything you have. Instead of dragging him down with your petty drama. I just gave a subtle nod. I know. To celebrate Ba Dad signing his contract, we're treating the whole family to a massive feast at the Imperial Pavilion tonight. My dad threw his hands up excitedly, locking in a reservation at the most outrageously expensive restaurant in the entire city. KY Ba Dad was practically vibrating with excitement, cheering at the top of his lungs. Hell yes, thanks, Dad, I'm definitely ordering their famous Buddha jumps over the wall soup. And dongpo pork, too. He rattled off over a dozen rich, greasy dishes in a single breath. With every dish that Bastard named, my heart skipped a painful beat. In my past life, this exact celebration dinner made my weight shoot up by a whole 2.5 kilos. And from that day on, KY Ba Dad's streaming career completely skyrocketed. While my health dragged right down to rock bottom, I stared at his overly excited face, feeling nothing but ice in my veins. KY ba dad, in this life, you're the one who's going to suffer. The dining table was absolutely loaded with food. KY ba dad's eyes lit up. Oh man, this braised pork is incredibly tender. And this crab roe smells absolutely amazing. He chewed loudly, exaggerating his reactions like a complete clown, making Mom, Dad, and Lu Nhuyen beam at him with pure adoration. Mom lovingly placed a massive piece of pork into his bowl. Lu Nhuyen even peeled a shrimp for him. The three of them looked like such a warm, happy little family. While I sat there like a totally useless centerpiece, KY ba dad kept side-eyeing me as he stuffed his face. Seeing that I hadn't touched my chopsticks at all, he turned to my parents and Lu Nhuyen, putting on a fake, worried look. Bro, why aren't you eating anything? Are you still mad that Mom and Dad scolded you this morning? You really shouldn't blame them. They just want what's best for you. You really do need to get your weight under control. Instantly, the warm atmosphere at the table froze solid. Dad's face darkened. Atan, what the hell is your problem now? We're trying to have a nice family dinner. And you have to sit there with that sour look on your face? Ba Dad was nice enough to give you good advice. And you're acting like an ungrateful brat. What, are you going on a hunger strike to protest? Take a look at all that fat on your body. Starving for a few meals isn't going to kill you. Lu Nhuyen's eyes were icy cold. Atan, can you please grow up? Ba Dad is about to become a public figure. As his family member, would you stop acting like such a child? Every single word of criticism was exactly the same as in my past life. But I didn't even bother arguing back. I just clutched my chest and let out a pained groan. My body swayed as the color completely drained from my face. Lu Nhuyen groaned impatiently. What is it now? My chest hurts so much. I can't breathe. My stomach is so bloated. It hurts. I choked out the words, pretending I was about to throw up. This exact reaction was identical to the heart attack symptoms I had in my past life. For the first time, sheer panic flashed across KY ba dad's face. Mom and Dad were terrified, too. Weren't you perfectly fine just a second ago? Don't you dare fake this. I acted like I didn't even have the strength to speak, letting my breathing grow heavier and heavier. Lu Nhuyen stared at my pale face, her annoyance slowly fading into panic. He doesn't look like he's faking it. Finally, Dad yelled out in a panic. All right, that's enough. Dinner's over. Get him to the hospital, now. On the way to the KY ba Dad was dead silent. He sat right next to me, just staring. He couldn't wrap his head around it. He was the one who had just stuffed his face. So why was I the one suddenly having severe indigestion and acting like I was having a heart attack? Meanwhile, I kept my eyes tightly shut, feeling all that grease and those calories still clogging up my body. KY ba Dad, this is only the beginning. Every ounce of suffering you put me through, I'm gonna make you pay for it 10 times over. The second we got to the hospital, I was rushed straight into the I demanded that the doctor run the most extensive full body scan on me possible. While waiting for the results, Lu Nhuyen and my parents stood outside. Mom's patience was clearly wearing thin. I bet he's just blowing things out of proportion. He probably just starved himself too much trying to lose weight and got low blood sugar, that's all. My dad's face darkened as well. Once the results are out, if there's nothing actually wrong with him, I'll show him what's what. He's only good at making everyone else miserable. Lu Nhuyen didn't say a word, but her deeply furrowed brows said it all. Only KY ba Dad had a shifty, nervous look in his eyes. He was scared, terrified that something completely out of his control was happening. Soon after, the nurse walked out holding a stack of test results. Who is the family of the patient, Atan? We are. My parents and Lu Nhuyen rushed over immediately. The nurse looked extremely serious. The patient's condition isn't looking too good. Please come with me. Those words left the three of them frozen in the hallway. They silently followed the nurse into the doctor's office. Not long after, from inside the room, my mom's voice echoed out in pure disbelief. What? Severe fatty liver? And his cholesterol and blood sugar are critically high too? Doctor, are you sure there hasn't been some kind of mistake? My son is only 22 years old, and he has an irregular heartbeat on top of that? How? How could this be possible? My parents and Lu Nhuyen walked out looking completely dazed. The way they looked at me now was full of confusion and turmoil. KY ba Dad hurriedly pushed his way forward, and frantically asked, what happened? What did the doctor say, Mom? My mom's lips were trembling, stammering for a long time without being able to force out a single word. Lu Nhu Yen slowly took step after step until she stood right in front of me. The look in her eyes was no longer just simple disgust. "Atan, what on earth is going on? The doctor said your body's levels are exactly like a 50-year-old man who's been eating absolute garbage for years. But you obviously didn't eat or drink anything tonight. I really don't know. Lately I've been forcing myself to diet, eating nothing but boiled veggies every single day. Plus 1 hour of working out. I have no idea why my body is so wrecked like this. I'm so scared," I stammered through my tears, while deliberately squeezing out a few perfectly timed tears. My words threw Lu Nhu Yen even deeper into a loop. It was true, she had seen it with her own eyes. I hadn't let a single grain of rice touch my stomach the entire night. A normal person on a diet. How could they suddenly end up with such horrifying health issues out of nowhere? It completely defied logic. But then, right at that moment, KY Ba Dat suddenly spoke up. His voice was mixed with sobs, reeking of fake pity. "Big brother, have you been sneaking food behind everyone's back? I know you're upset inside, and jealous of me because I can eat whatever I want without gaining weight. But you shouldn't torture yourself like this, just to make our family feel guilty." Those words of his were an absolute masterclass in playing the innocent victim. It completely wiped his own hands clean, while simultaneously slapping the label of a manipulative liar right onto my forehead. Sure enough, the eyes of my parents and Lu Nhu Yen began to waver again. "That has to be it. I told you so. There's no way he could actually keep his mouth shut. God knows how much junk food he's been stuffing his face with behind our backs." My dad pointed right at my face and yelled in agony, "Atan, oh, Atan. You have truly disappointed us." The look in Lu Nhu Yen's eyes turned freezing cold once again. "Atan, I was so utterly wrong about you. Just because you wanted attention, just to humiliate your brother, you'd stoop so low as to use this self-harm trick to deceive everyone? You are absolutely toxic." I just stood there frozen, staring at each and every one of their fake faces, without feeling even the slightest hint of heartache, because I knew all too well, it was always going to end up like this. Twisting the truth is what they do best. I didn't even bother arguing anymore. I just looked up at KY Ba Dat. He was cowering behind our mother's back, shooting me a smug, victorious look just to provoke me. I stared right back and gave a silent smirk. "Don't be in such a rush, KY Ba Dat. The real show hasn't even started yet." When we got back from the hospital, the atmosphere in the house was absolutely freezing. My parents grounded me, confiscated my phone and wallet, claiming it was to completely stop me from sneaking snacks. Lu Nhu Yen even bluntly declared that until we both cooled down, she wasn't going to see me anymore. Did they really think a little house arrest could stop me? What they didn't know was, the ultimate weapon I needed was hanging right around my neck. It was a tiny white jade pendant, something my grandmother had specially blessed for KY Ba Dat and me right after we were born. In my past life, KY Ba Dat said he liked the design of my pendant better. So he whined and threw tantrums until I traded with him, and from that moment on, every single calorie from his insane binge eating started transferring straight into my body. It wasn't until the moment I died that I finally realized in horror that this exact pendant was the source of that whole nightmare. Now that I've been reborn, the very first thing I did was check the pendant. It was still resting safely on my chest, and the one around KY Ba Dat's neck was still his. I figured, these two pendants worked like a signal transmitter and receiver. And right now, I had to figure out how to activate it and reverse the process. That little incident at the hospital gave me a solid clue. Back at the hospital entrance, I pretended to lose my balance, and purposely grabbed onto KY Ba Dat's arm, while clutching the pendant tightly in my palm. I bet direct skin contact, combined with my intense willpower, was the key to triggering it. I just needed another chance to test my theory, and that chance came knocking real fast. KY Ba Dat's debut livestream had been delayed because I sabotaged it. But Penguin Media didn't drop him. Instead, they cooked up a brand new plan for an even more massive livestream, a challenge to devour 10 whole bowls of super spicy chicken noodles in just 1 hour. To prep for this broadcast, the agency pampered him from head to toe and ran a massive PR campaign. They spammed all sorts of trending hashtags just to bait viewers in. On the day of the stream, right before going live, KY Ba Dat purposely sneaked into my room. He didn't even try to hide the smug grin on his face. "Hey, big bro. Make sure you tune into my livestream later, alright?" He strutted right up to me, looking down his nose with pure arrogance. "The agency already bought the prime ad spots for me. After tonight, I'll be a legitimate internet star. And you'll just stay exactly like you are now, locked up in this cramped little room." With that, he leaned in close, dropping his voice to a malicious whisper that only the two of us could hear. "Ton, you know what? My favorite thing is seeing you so pissed off at me, but completely powerless to do a damn thing about it. The more you suffer, the more of a rush I get. Every single blob of disgusting fat on your body is literally a medal of my success." I just looked up, staring calmly into his wretched face. I didn't say a word. I just waited until the second he turned his back to leave, then I shot up from my seat. "Hold on, what are you trying to pull now?" I stepped right in front of him, reaching out, pretending to fix his slightly messed up collar. "Your collar's a little wrinkled." Right at the exact moment my fingertips brushed against his collar, my other hand tightly gripped the jade pendant on his chest. Piercingly cold chill shot straight through my fingertips. I gathered every single ounce of resentment from my past life and this one, pouring it all into this very second. All done, I pulled my hand back, smiling as if absolutely nothing happened. "Good luck with your live stream." KY Ba Dad looked at me with a hint of suspicion. But after finding nothing out of the ordinary, he just turned around and walked out. I stared intensely at his back, slowly letting out a breath of relief. This time, I've definitely turned the tables for good. Right after that, I pulled out my laptop and clicked into KY Ba Dad's live stream. By now, there were already several 100,000 people watching live. The chat box was totally flooded with cheers and massive hype for him. KY Ba Dad grinned from ear to ear, greeting everyone, and then he pulled out 10 boxes of spicy chicken noodles, stacked up like a mountain. KY Ba Dad boldly declared, "Today, I am taking on the challenge of eating all of this." In just the blink of an eye, he completely demolished one box of noodles. He ate with such incredible appetite, not looking forced even in the slightest. The comments kept flying up in total shock. "Holy crap. Noodles that spicy. And he didn't even bat an eye. So dope. Is this guy made of iron or what?" Lu Nhu Yen even flexed by gifting him 10 massive carnival donations, triggering a wave of cheers. "Our sister-in-law is too gorgeous." I just sat there calmly, staring at the screen, watching KY Ba Dad greedily swallowing down bite after bite of that greasy, salty, incredibly high-calorie food. Yet, inside my own body, that sickening, greasy feeling didn't show up at all. Instead, it was replaced by a sense of lightness and relief like never before. I could even feel the layers of fat built up for years around my belly, seemingly burning up with a tingling heat, and slowly melting away. "It's working. It's actually working." My eyes darted back to the screen. By now, KY Ba Dad had already wiped out the third box of noodles. His forehead started breaking out in a sweat, but he played it off, saying it was just because of the spice. But I could see it clear as day. That was no normal sweat from the heat. Those were cold, greasy, sticky drops of sweat. His complexion was also starting to flush a really unnatural red. By the time he reached the fifth box, his pace had visibly slowed down. He started chugging water non-stop. The smile on his lips was looking completely forced. Down in the comments, suspicious whispers started popping up. "Why does it feel like Dad is running out of steam? For real, his face looks like it puffed up a whole size." "Just an illusion, probably because it's too spicy." "Illusion my foot." I can literally see his shirt starting to stretch tight, right as he choked down the seventh box. Disaster struck. He suddenly threw a hand over his mouth, clamping it shut. A loud, violent gurgling sound erupted from his stomach. That noise echoed through the entire live stream. Everyone heard it loud and clear. KY Ba Dad's face instantly turned dead pale. He tried to brace himself to hold back that sickening urge to throw up, but the body's natural instincts, not something you can just suppress with sheer willpower. He stumbled, tripping over his own feet as he bolted right out of frame. A second later, the wretched sounds of violent puking echoed back through the stream. The live stream suddenly disconnected. The whole chat room fell dead silent for 3 seconds, and then it absolutely exploded. "Holy shit, did I just hear that right? The streamer actually just threw up, talked such a big game about a 10-box challenge, and ends up puking his guts out on the 7th one. And he dares to call himself a food god? Those trending searches the other day must have been bot. Talk about ruining your image fast as hell. Countless curses and mocking comments surged up like a tidal wave, drowning the entire screen. KY Ba Dat's very first official livestream. The whole thing ended in an absolute disaster, and I just quietly shut off my computer. I let out a long, deep breath. My whole body suddenly felt so light, a feeling I hadn't experienced in a very long time. After that catastrophic livestream, KY Ba Dat's account lost over 100,000 followers overnight. The comments section was flooded with people cursing him out, calling him a total fraud. That day, my dad was absolutely furious, pacing back and forth in the living room, cursing non-stop, "You useless piece of trash." Meanwhile, my mom was hugging KY Ba Dat tight, crying her eyes out in pity. KY Ba Dat was sobbing, gasping for air. "Mom, I don't even know what happened. I could still eat just fine. But then my stomach suddenly bloated up, it felt horrible. It's all Atan's fault. He definitely did something to me. He snapped his head up and glared daggers right at me. He touched me right before I went live. I'm telling you, he messed with me." My mom immediately lunged at me, raising her hand to slap my face. "You absolute jinx, I knew it was you. You're just jealous of your own brother, aren't you? Do you just want to completely ruin his future?" I didn't even flinch, just stared back at her with a deadpan expression. "Do you have any proof?" My mom's hand froze right in midair. Exactly, where was the proof? I had barely brushed against his collar. How could that possibly count as proof? Was I supposed to shout to the whole world that I have superpowers and can make him throw up just by thinking about it? Who would ever believe that? My mom was totally speechless, choking on her own words. My dad roared in anger, "What the hell do we need proof for? With all the crap happening in this house, is there anything that isn't your fault? First, the medical checkup. And now this livestream disaster. Atan, you little bastard. You really are the worst curse to ever hit this family." Right at that moment, Lu Nhu Yen walked in. The second KY Ba Dat saw her. Like a drowning man catching a lifeline, he burst into pathetic tears and threw himself straight into her arms. "Nhu Yen, my whole career, it's completely ruined." He destroyed everything. Lu Nhu Yen held him tight, gently comforting him. But the way she looked at me was filled with utter disappointment and a bone-chilling coldness. "Atan, we need to talk." She called me out to the balcony. "Atan, let's call off the engagement." She spat it out without a single ounce of hesitation. At this point, my heart didn't even skip a beat. If anything, I almost wanted to laugh out loud. In my past life, she was exactly like this. At the exact moment I needed her the most, she ruthlessly tossed me aside without a shred of pity. You're asking why? Take a good look at yourself right now. You're a lazy, fat slob. On top of that, you're so petty and vicious that you're actually jealous of your own flesh and blood. Just look at Ba Dat. He works so incredibly hard. He's always shining so brightly, giving his absolute all for his dreams. You are fundamentally unworthy of me. And you are definitely not worthy of being the future heir to the KY family. She scolded me with such righteous indignation, acting as if I was some unforgivable monster who had committed a heinous crime. I was completely blind before, thinking you were a calm and reasonable guy. Now I finally see it, that wasn't being calm at all. You're just sinister. Deep down, you're hiding an ugly monster, someone who just can't stand seeing others do better than you. Atan, you absolutely disgust me. Right after dropping that last sentence, she turned on her heel and walked away, without a single trace of regret. I stared at her back as she walked away, and suddenly spoke up. Lu Nhu Yen, you are going to regret this. The man you threw away today, that is the only chance in your life, to find out the truth. Lu Nhu Yen's shoulders stiffened slightly, but in the end, she didn't even bother to look back. Out in the living room, KY Ba Dat was still sobbing and sniffling. Lu Nhu Yen hurried over, coaxing him gently. Ba Dat, don't be afraid. I'm right here with you. If that livestream company is a bust, we'll just move on to another one. First thing tomorrow, I will take you there. KY Ba Dat's eyes lit up. Tin the Entertainment? They're like the top 1 or 2 biggest entertainment giants in the whole country. They must be at least 10 times bigger than Penguin Media. Are you serious, Nhu Yen? Of course I am, as long as it is something you want. I will get it for you. But then, her tone suddenly shifted. Her eyes turned vicious, but we have to figure out a way to completely get rid of that little nuisance. the look in both of their eyes. I secretly sneered to myself. Get rid of me? Alright then. The very next day, KY Ba Dat and Lu Nhu Yen went straight to Tin the Entertainment. As for me, I was guarded even more closely by my parents. They even installed a deadbolt on the outside of my bedroom door. Other than when they brought me food, I was strictly forbidden from stepping even half a step outside. But I was actually glad, it saved me from having to look at their faces. Taking advantage of this time, I completely buried myself in researching the Jade Pendant's abilities. I figured out that its reversal power actually drains my own mental energy. Every single time I activate it, I end up completely exhausted. Furthermore, this reversal effect seems to be directly proportional to the distance between me and KY Ba Dat. The closer I stand, the stronger the effect, if I only trigger it indirectly through the items I have charged up. Then the efficiency drops significantly, and there is even a time delay. Just like that spicy chicken noodle livestream a while back, KY Ba Dat had to shove down exactly 7 boxes before the power finally kicked in. If I had been standing right next to you back then, I guarantee you would have puked your guts out on the very first bite. I need a chance to be in close contact with him for an extended period of time. And on top of that, it has to be right in a setting where tens of thousands of eyes are watching. I am going to ruin your reputation completely, so that you can never show your face again. At dusk, KY Ba Dat and Lu Nhu Yen came wandering back home. Both of their faces were practically glowing with excitement. Mom, Dad, Tin the Entertainment signed a contract with me. They said my ability to eat without gaining weight is a massive trending topic. They are putting together a custom-made reality show just for me. What kind of show? The Calorie Wars. The crew is even inviting nutritionists and fitness trainers to closely monitor all of my food intake and body stats from start to finish. They want to prove to the entire internet that our Ba Dat is truly heaven's favorite child. An absolute real-life calorie black hole. The live broadcast location for the very first episode is already locked in right at Van Dat Square in the middle of the city center. They are even inviting 100 live audience members to interact with on the spot. Inside my room, my heart suddenly skipped a beat. A live broadcast at Van Dat Square? And right in front of 100 live spectators. Isn't this exactly the stage one have always been dreaming of? KY Ba Dat had obviously cooked up something as well. He swaggered over to my bedroom door, and through the door, spoke in his smug, showing off tone. My sweet big brother, did you hear that? To completely clear my name from those fake eating rumors, during this livestream, the company is going to use the most advanced body composition analyzer. It will directly measure all of my body stats every single second, and then project them straight onto the giant LED screen in the middle of the square. This time, let's see what kind of tricks you can pull. He paused for a beat, his voice suddenly turning sinister. Oh, almost forgot, Nhu Yen even managed to convince the production crew to invite you as a special guest, so you can witness my success with your own 2 eyes. She said, she wants you to keep your eyes wide open and watch exactly how I am going to crush you under my heel. When I step up to the very top, you absolutely have to be there. My dear, sweet brother. Their smug laughter echoed from right outside the door. I leaned my back against the door and slowly closed my eyes. Heaven is really on my side. KY Ba Dat, Lu Nhu Yen. I absolutely love the stage you two went out of your way to set up for me. I'm going to give you, and the entire audience here, a performance you will never forget for the rest of your lives. The live stream was scheduled for the weekend. On that day, I was escorted by my parents like a common criminal. Van Dat Plaza. Thousands of people had already gathered at the scene. When Lu Nhu Yen saw me, she just gave me a look of pure disgust. Atan, open your eyes and watch closely. See just how massive the gap between you and Ba Dat really is. I couldn't even be bothered to acknowledge her, just quietly looking toward the stage. Soon enough, the main star, KY Ba Dat, stepped out brightly amidst the deafening cheers of the crowd. He looked incredibly confident, a radiant smile on his face. Hello, everybody, I'm KY Ba Dat. Right on script, the first thing he needed to do was measure his initial body stats. He stepped onto the high-tech body scanner. Instantly, a series of numbers popped up on the giant screen. Height, 168 centimeters. Weight, 45 kilograms. Body fat percentage, 18%. Every single stat was unbelievably perfect. Even the nutrition experts at the scene gasped in amazement at these numbers. They called it a flawless metabolism, a physique seen only once in a century. Next up was the highlight of the day, the extreme calorie intake challenge. The backstage crew pushed out the main course, a literal mountain of food piled high with burgers, fried chicken, French fries, and Coke. According to the experts' estimates, the total calories of this food mountain exceeded 20,000 calories. The entire weekly intake for a normal adult male would be just about that much. What KY Ba Dad needed to do right now was to devour this entire pile in exactly 2 hours. So, let the challenge begin. Right as the MC finished speaking, KY Ba Dad grabbed a beef burger and began his performance. He ate incredibly fast, but also maintained a slow, elegant grace. Every single bite looked exactly like he was shooting a food commercial. He ate while casually chatting with the MC, his vibe completely relaxed and effortless. Minute by minute, time ticked away. The mountain of food on the table vanished at a speed you could clearly see with the naked eye. Meanwhile, KY Ba Dad didn't look like he had changed at all. His figure was still just as slender and full of energy. The data board updating in real time on the giant screen showed his weight had actually dropped slightly due to water loss by 0.1 kilograms. The entire hall practically exploded. Oh my god, what kind of godly physique is this? He really can eat forever without getting fat. That's so unbelievable. My parents watched with expressions of absolute, boundless pride. Lu Nhu Yen turned to me, looking even more smug. See that? Atan, this is reality. This is pure science. Those ridiculous lies of yours are completely worthless in the face of the truth. And yet, my eyes remained locked tightly onto KY Ba Dad up on that stage. I tightly gripped the jade pendant hidden in my pocket. The time is almost here. Right at the exact moment KY Ba Dad picked up the final slice of pizza, I slowly walked up onto the stage. My actions instantly grabbed everyone's attention. Who is that guy? He looks so fat. I think that's KY Ba Dad's older brother. The security guards were about to rush up and stop me, but Lu Ruyan just shot them a look, meaning they should just let me pass. She was probably thinking I was going up on stage to bow my head and apologize to Ji Ba Da in front of the whole world. What she really wanted to see was this pathetic, miserable, wretched state of mine. I walked up onto the stage and stopped exactly 3 steps away from Ji Ba Da. When Ji Ba Da saw me, he completely froze. But that look was quickly replaced by a smug, arrogant grin. Big bro, what are you doing up here? Did you finally think things through? Are you gonna apologize to me in front of the whole country? I looked at him and let out a cold smirk. No, I came up here to give you a little present. As I spoke, I reached my hand out, but not to touch him, but to point straight at the high-tech body scanner right at his feet. Ji Ba Da, I dare you. Step on that thing and measure yourself again, right here, right now. My words left everyone in absolute shock. Ji Ba Da's face instantly dropped. He unconsciously took a step back. What the hell are you talking about? I'm in the middle of a challenge. Why would I measure anything? Down in the audience, Lu Ruyan furrowed her brows tightly and yelled out, "Cheng, stop making a scene, get down from there right now." I completely ignored her. I just kept my eyes locked on Ji Ba Da, forcing him back step by step. My hand was still clamped like a vice, tightly squeezing the jade pendant that was now burning hot against my skin. I poured every ounce of my willpower and deep-seated, bone-chilling hatred straight into it. I'm not holding back this time. What I want is for it to explode right this second. What's the matter? Are you scared? I thought you were the so-called calorie black hole? Aren't you the guy who can eat endlessly without gaining a single pound? A measly 20,000 calories should be an absolute walk in the park for you, right? Or could it be that all that food you just stuffed your face with has actually... I purposely paused for a beat and then pointedly patted my own massive, heavy stomach. Ji Ba Da's pupils instantly shrank in terror. He shrieked at the top of his lungs, "Shut your mouth. You crazy bastard." His complete loss of composure made the atmosphere in the studio turn incredibly bizarre. The audience immediately started whispering, "Huh? What the heck is going on? What did the big brother mean just now?" I have no idea, but it sounds like he's hinting at something super shady. A whole barrage of camera lenses instantly zoomed in right on us. Lu Ruyan finally couldn't just sit there anymore. She stormed straight up onto the stage, ready to drag me down by force. Cheng, haven't you caused enough trouble yet? But the exact moment her hand brushed past my arm, something horrific happened. Ji Ba Da, who was standing on the stage, suddenly let out a blood-curdling, agonizing scream. His face violently twisted in absolute agony and pure terror. My stomach, it's gonna burst. He doubled over, his entire body convulsing violently, right in front of thousands of horrified, staring eyes. He blew up like a rapidly inflating balloon. Every single inch of his body was expanding at a terrifying, insane rate. In barely over 10 seconds, he morphed into a massive, blubbering lump of flesh, even fatter than me. Every single person in the room was scared, totally speechless by the bizarre, grotesque horror unfolding right before their eyes. The numbers on the giant screen began to spike wildly. Weight, 45 kilograms. 60 kilograms. 150 kilograms. Body fat, 18%. 35%. 55%. Finally, the numbers slammed to a halt. Weight, 258.8 kilograms. Body fat, 78.9%. An absolutely terrifying figure. More than enough to be fatal. And Ji Ba Da had already collapsed, completely paralyzed on the floor. He screamed like a maniac. No, it wasn't me. This isn't real. Give me back my body. Give it back. The furious curses of the audience below echoed endlessly, everyone screaming that he was a total fraud. Lu Rian was also completely frozen in shock. In her eyes was an unprecedented flood of fear and confusion. She suddenly remembered the words I had told her before. The truth. So this was the actual truth. Her lips trembled, pointing at me for ages without being able to utter a single word. As for me, I just stood quietly in the middle of the chaotic stage, enjoying an unprecedented sense of lightness in my own body. Looking down at my visibly slimmed waist, I burst into laughter, a radiant, incredibly satisfying laugh. Ji Ba Da, now, do you still like this badge of success on your body? My voice wasn't loud, but through the microphone, it echoed crystal clear across the entire square. Ji Ba Da's miserable wailing suddenly stopped. He looked up with his distorted face, his features completely buried under layers of flab, and glared at me fiercely. It was you. You did this, didn't you? You're the one who dumped all this fat back onto me. I slowly walked up to him. Just realized it now? Too late. Didn't you love stuffing your face like a pig? Didn't you love watching me suffer? From today on, every single bite you take will turn straight into fat right on your own body. Enjoy it, my dear, sweet little brother. Enjoy the 150 kilograms of glory that truly belongs to you. After saying that, I stood up straight, without bothering to give him another look, and walked down from the stage step by step. Lu Rian seemed to suddenly snap out of it. She rushed over, tightly grabbing my wrist. Cheng, what on earth is going on? Please tell me, that's not the truth, is it? She didn't want to believe that the Ji Ba Da she had always pampered in the palm of her hand was actually just a thief, using twisted tricks to steal someone else's body. She especially didn't want to believe that the fiancé she had always been disgusted by and cast aside was the true innocent victim. I stared at her face, which was now overflowing with regret, and only found it incredibly pathetic. Lu Rian, I told you before that you would regret this. Now, the game is only just beginning. You don't even have the right to be a spectator anymore. I roughly brushed her hand away, and decisively walked into the chaotic crowd without even turning my head back. Behind me were the desperate screams of Ji Ba Da, the agonizing mutters of Lu Rian, and the explosive, shattering chaos of the entire world. As for my world, it was more peaceful than ever before.